Now it's a new year, and it's fair to say the narrative over the last few months has been dominated by new technology, new business practices, and of course the new normal. And as a result, in my view, conversation about core creative disciplines such as design has been a little suppressed. And that's why I find it really refreshing that over the next 10 to 15 minutes I'm going to get a chance to talk design with Steve Hickson, who is the creative director of Ensemble, which is the new design offering from FleishmanHillard Fishburn. This agency believes that despite all this talk of tech, that design still has an absolute fundamental place in any brand's toolbox. And over the next 10-15 minutes, Steve is going to explain why. Steve, welcome. To start off with, can you just tell us why you chose at this particular moment in time to launch a new design offer?
Well, we had a plan. We were going to carry on with that plan despite COVID and lockdown. So we actually started this process in January last year. And as we entered first lockdown in March, our focus then was to adapt to this new way of working, remote working. But of course, at that moment, we were still having lots of conversations around our direction of travel. And once we were fully in the remote working mode, we kicked the project off in earnest. And we felt that despite everything that was going on in the world, we needed something to look forward to. We wanted a new vision, we wanted a new proposition that would give the team something to believe in and really start to solidify our creative ambition. And that's specifically around brand identity, brand and social change campaigns, all the way through to annual reports and other types of investor comms. And I think, Gordon, in these troubled times, investing in our people, our new business approach, our brand and our route to market, it makes complete sense because one day, fingers crossed, COVID will be tamed. And we are busy, despite COVID and despite everything that's going on, we're still really busy, but we need to act now to be ready and good to go. And you know what? Our clients demand smarter thinking and design. And for Ensemble Studio clients, we're really lucky. We can tap into the deeper, broader expertise of FleishmanHillard. And just finally, for us, this is a 5-year journey. And despite the challenges of 2020, we made remarkable inroads into setting ourselves up for bigger, better, more creative things by investing in our people, technology, our marketing. So I think in summary, this is just the start of a very exciting journey for the team.
But obviously you're an organisation who practice what you preach. You've obviously put a lot of thought into your own identity and how you're going to portray Ensemble. Could you just sort of talk us through, that process and some of the ideas that drove that process?
Yeah, sure. So our vision is to create a new proposition and a brand that does several things. So firstly, we wanted to reinvigorate and clarify our market proposition and really consolidate our position as a credible design offer. And so we want to create a brand that does several things. It helps us attract and retain great talent, to help us grow our portfolio of work. And I think importantly as well, to fire up what we call our entrepreneurial spirit of the team. From a brand identity perspective, we wanted to create something a little bit different to what our immediate peers and competitors are doing. While we work predominantly with corporate clients, we didn't want our identity to feel intrinsically corporate. And our brand identity has a simple idea at its heart. The meaning of word ensemble is a group of musicians, dancers, or actors that perform together, and that's us. Okay, while we're not musicians, dancers, or actors, we are indeed a group of creative individuals, talents, ideas, and approaches, all overlaying, all coming together to form what we call our bold new collective, which is Ensemble Studio. And I think our brand proposition is one clear voice. And for us, this has a lovely duality to it. It gives our people a voice. It gives them a vision and a direction to believe in. And it also says to our clients that we're here to cut through the noise, to pierce the clamor with one clear voice. And we are here to help provide clarity around their communications. Gordon, we talk about design being the key to brand success. A brand is only as good as the people behind it, with people all doing what's right in a consistent fashion, offering a great product, in our case, design and ideas, and a great customer experience. And we really hope that us investing in our brand is going to benefit the agency, as well as give our people that extra impetus to go and do great work and do what's right for the agency.
And of course, this whole brand has come together during lockdown. But as a creative director, it must be really challenging running a creative team who are all working in isolations, because you normally think actually a dynamic creative department needs to be working in one place together. So how have you dealt with those challenges?
I think we, with regard to creating our new brand offer, we, as you would expect, follow the process we follow with our own clients. Now, before lockdown, we were in the office discussing this. After lockdown, we still held our client and key stakeholder interviews. We had workshops, lots of chat, lots of discussions to determine our brand proposition. And then, of course, it's turning all of that great thinking into something that creatively represents our spirit. So I think while remote working has affected the form of how we interact, if I'm honest, it's not affected the process and the end output. Let's be honest as well. I think, working in this fashion does require extra effort. It requires extra effort and planning just to talk to someone. Personally, what I miss is the ability to pull a chair up next to someone and just talk through some work. But we're still doing what needs to be done. Team meetings, briefings, brainstorms, pitches, presentations. The only difference is we're all doing it in our slippers and our tracky bottoms and through a screen, And I think, Gordon, importantly, we're still working closely and successfully with all of our clients. The use of technology has made this, in the great scheme of, relatively easy, and everyone has adapted. So things are running very smoothly indeed, and I've been impressed with how people manage to remain positive, pragmatic, and they've just got on with it. And the delivery and launch of our new brand is testament to this mindset.
That's good. That's also really good to hear you're currently wearing slippers and tracky bottoms.
Yeah.
It's well done for that. But as I say, it's really refreshing, to hear of a company investing in design and investing in this sort of core creative discipline. But what message would you have for the rest of the design community?
I think if the pandemic has taught us anything, it's that we're all in this together. Let's be honest. 2020 was a very challenging year for most sectors of the economy. And, the design industry felt the shock as well. But I'm glad to say I think it seems to be recovering reasonably well. But for some, let's be honest, it's tough out there at the moment, and I'm afraid to say this does have an effect on individuals' well-being. The effect of COVID has also left many people without jobs, or they've had to adapt how they work. So I think my message is it's just so important, I think, to support each other, to reach out, to be a voice of support, And as a brand new creative offer, we believe in supporting each other and looking after each other through these tough times. Now, I know it's a little bit of a cliche, but when we're all pulling together, looking out for each other, talking together, being mindful of how people are feeling at the moment, if I'm honest, we are much, much stronger as a team.
That's great. Well, Steve, that was great. Good luck with Ensemble, and thanks once again for talking to us.
No problem. Great to talk to you. Thank you.
Well, thanks for watching, and thanks once again to Steve for reminding us why design has such a fundamental role to play in any brand success story.